Hello everyone, welcome to the H&M channel. In our today's video, I'm going to share my experience on traveling from Hyderabad to Chicago during this lockdown. I'm going to do this video in English because a lot of people from different parts of the country have been asking me to share my experience. And also, in this video, I'm going to tell you on how I have booked my tickets, how I have traveled from Hyderabad to Delhi and then from Delhi to Chicago, what are all the precautions that I've taken, what is the entire procedure, and the complete experience. So, I have traveled in one of those evacuation flights that the government and the Air India together are running to bring back all the stranded citizens from different parts of the world. How did I book my ticket? So this is one of the important question that many people were asking me. So I have booked my ticket from the Air India site and I did not use any third party sites to do this booking. How did I come to know that the tickets were open? So for this, I have been following the Air India official Twitter handle along with the aviation minister's Twitter handle. So as expected, the prices were little higher when compared to the regular timings, but that should be fine because I wanted to come back to the US at any cost, so I did not pay much attention to it. So then I went ahead, booked my ticket. So basically, the ticket should last at least for 30 to 40 minutes, I say. And that should be more than enough for a person to book it if you are not making any mistakes or doing any rebookings. And also, I have heard from many people who were doing these bookings that a lot of the US cards were not working. For me personally, I have used my American Express card and that did work in the first go, and that did not create any problems for me. So that is how I've booked my ticket. So now the biggest question is on how I will be traveling to Delhi, because when I was trying to fly back, there were no trains, buses, and domestic flights operating because of the lockdown. So I heard from a friend that there is an app called Telegram, and there is a group where a lot of people like me are trying to connect back to the Air India staff and request them for a feeder flight. In other words, the connecting flight. So when we were doing this procedure, luckily the government announced that the domestic flights will be operating soon. So it was like 4 days prior to my travel, we had the domestic flights operating. So I have booked my flight from Hyderabad to Delhi through Air India. I would like to give you a small suggestion here. That is, there is a restriction because of this COVID on the domestic flights that they are not going to allow a lot of baggage. So usually with international we get 23 into 2 and then one check-in baggage with 7 to 8 kilos. But all the domestic flights right now, because of the new policies, they are allowing only one check-in baggage with 20 kilos. So that is going to be a problem if you wanted to carry back a lot of stuff to the US. So, Air India has this policy that if you have an international connecting flight that is within 24 hours, you'll get an opportunity to take your check-in baggage, which is similar to the international policies. So that's it. That is the reason why I booked my domestic flight with Air India, and then I got my 23 into 2 check-in baggages and my cabin baggage as well. So then I by road I went back to Hyderabad, reached it, and then from there I have traveled to Delhi, and from Delhi I've traveled back to Chicago in those evacuation flights. So then the biggest question is, usually they do a direct check-in if you have your international flight from Hyderabad to Chicago itself. So there is no need of again collecting your baggage and rechecking it at Delhi. But unfortunately, when we were trying to check in our baggage at Hyderabad, we had some server issue that the Air India was facing, and somehow we were not able to do the direct check into Chicago. So we had to take our baggage from Delhi and then had to recheck in it again to Chicago. So I don't think that usually is going to be a problem for everyone. It is some, it's our bad luck that it did not work out. So, if you're traveling by road to your nearest airports, that is outside the state, you will have to get an e-pass. E-pass is nothing but it's like a permission letter from your state to travel back to your destination state. in basically it's like if you want to travel back from one state to another, you should definitely have this e-pass. Otherwise, the state border security will not allow you to bypass this, because these are the new rules with the COVID-19 crisis that are going on right now. So this should be an easy way, just like a 5 or 10 minutes process to apply it online. You can directly get those sites by searching it in Google. They'll ask for your details like the vehicle number, how many people are traveling with you, and if you mention that you have an international flight, you have to submit your tickets along with your ID proof. So I got this e-pass after 7 to 8 days after I've applied it. So I would recommend you to do it like a little earlier and not do it at a last minute. Also, I would like to mention one more important point. Air India is allowing only web check-ins. So you have to do web check-in from your house directly and get the boarding pass. So if there are any server issues or any site issues, so when I was doing it, we had this site issue that did not allow us to do our international check-in. So for domestic, I got my boarding pass, but for international, I was not able to because there were some issues with the AI site. So for in that cases, they will let you inside, but usually you should have your boarding pass at least for the domestic flight to enter into the airport. And now I'm going to tell you my experience and how the airport authorities are maintaining the social distancing and taking the safety measures. So as soon as we enter into the airport, they are doing thermal scan. So they are being very strict with this procedure. So if your temperature is not under control, or if you have high temperature, they are strictly not allowing you into the airport. So everything over there was contactless. They were having a glass frame kind of thing that we have, so that we can maintain that particular distancing between the security officials and then all the AI officials that are working right now in the airports. Also, face mask and gloves are compulsory, and PPE kit and all, it's your choice. So if you wanted to have it and be careful, you can have it, or else just a face mask and gloves are like compulsory. I have also carried a bottle of sanitizer. They are not restricting on any food items also. So usually we have this restriction that we are not allowed any food items into the security check. But right now we are being allowed to carry our own water bottles and snacks and the sanitizer bottles. So as soon as I went ahead into the airport, all the other process was like pretty much similar to the regular procedure. So we had to stand in the line for our check-ins, our baggage check-ins, and but I have to mention this one. They were maintaining strict social distancing. So they drew these boxes that were at least 6 feet away from each other, and we have to stand in only in those boxes. So one after the other, we were doing our check-ins, and after we complete the check-ins and during the security check also, the security officials were not touching anything. They're asking us to just put everything in a tray and then go ahead, and then we just went ahead and we had the security check also. That was also contactless. They were having a big machine kind of thing that they were scanning us with. So as soon as we completed the security check, we went inside to the terminal, and near the terminal also we were allowed only to sit on the edges of the seats, and the middle seat was left empty in order to maintain the social distancing. So in the domestic flights, Air India did not give us any sanitizers or anything. They just gave us the face mask kind of thing, basically, so that will cover our entire face with a plastic kind of sheet. So they gave us that one, and then we went ahead, sat in the flights. So in the flights, there was no social distancing at all. Everyone was sitting beside each other, which is understandable. And then when we boarded onto our international flight, we did have our food services. So there was a pre-packaged food that was already available on our seats. We had some few chips, few drinks like mango juice, apple juice, sandwiches, and rolls. That was sufficient for a person to travel back to Chicago because there was no additional food service that is available in the middle. And yeah, pretty much. That is how I have traveled from Hyderabad to Chicago. So when we were like about to land, they did have the sanitizer sprays that they were spraying around the entire flight, and all the Air India crew were wearing a PPE kit, and the contact was very minimal. So if we had any big issues or something, they were coming and assisting us. Other than that, they're asking us to avoid contact with the crew. And then I would also like to suggest you one thing: if you are a person who sleeps very less during travel, or if you have kids, I would suggest you to bring an iPad or at least install some games or any movies or something that could entertain you, because on the even on the international flight we did not have any entertainment service. The screens were basically off. So yeah, that is pretty much on how we have traveled, and I think I've covered almost all the points. And if you think I've missed any points, or if you have any other questions, please do comment, and we will definitely answer to all of your questions. And also, if you want to know the restrictions on the visas and the port of entry, how we had our immigration at India as well as at Chicago, and the thermal scanning and all the procedures that we had at Chicago airport, please do comment and let us know. We will also do one video on that as well. If you like this video, and if you think that this video has been useful to you, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel.